Hey guys, can you hear me? Hey, how's everyone doing? Hey, sexy, smart, sweetheart. Hey, Miss Betty. Oh Lord, who say it's about to be ghetto? Y'all are so crazy. Let's have some positive vibes in the chat, please. Okay, guys, so let's just get right into it. Um, I'm gonna take some questions and then we will wait on our special guest. So, who has the first question for me? Let's see. 7:01 time for a comfort break is crazy. Where are the questions? Y'all not putting any. Oh, who is the mole? Oh Lord. So we'll talk about the mole situation. So basically, a lot of you guys saw me on Lead Attorney. Drop a green heart if you saw me on Lead Attorney. Let's go. Green heart if you see me on Lead Attorney, so I can see how many people have heard anything. How many people do we got? We got 1,000 people in the chat. Okay, y'all. Okay. I'm gonna talk about the transcripts. Okay, hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me assign a moderator. Okay, we're gonna be positive in here today, guys. And let me see. JT, are you in here? Okay, we're gonna be positive in here today. JT, I'm about to make you a moderator. Drop something in the chat so I can click on you. There you go. I see you. I just made you a moderator. Thank you, girl. 1 second. Let me slow down the chat for everybody. Where are you at? Okay, so basically, this is what we're going to talk about. First, we like to talk about the mole situation. Everybody wants me to drop my Cash App. I guess I can just put my Cash App in my name. Hold on 1 second. Is it going to let me do it? Name. What they say? There's an echo. Okay, my Cash App is just my full name, Kayla Bumpus. And it's a picture of my baby. It's a Frenchie. Make sure you guys subscribe, like. And I want to let you guys know, I'm going to try to come on here more. I'm new to this whole social media, YouTube stuff. It's probably my first time on YouTube. So be nice to me. Please be nice to me. But I'm going to come on here and we're going to talk about everything. I don't want to have just like a lame lawyer show. That's why I didn't dress up. I just want to be myself. But I want to talk about all kind of stuff. I want to talk about, have you guys been watching Netflix? I want to talk about that guy with 1,000 kids. Who wants to talk about him? That's crazy. But for the next couple of days, the next couple of times I get with you guys, I definitely will answer questions you have about the case. But I don't want you guys to think that all I'm going to talk about and all I have to offer is about YSL, because I'm so much more than that. just want to give you guys a little introduction about me. I'm from Atlanta, and I have been practicing for 8 years almost. This is my 8th year, going into my 8th year. And I see a lot of people, I'm going to answer some preliminary questions. I see a lot of people asking about why did Melnick send a personal injury attorney to a criminal courtroom? Well, truth be told is I was a criminal attorney for 5 years. And in the last 2 years, I have endeavored into personal injury. But I never stopped practicing criminal because it's what I'm good at. And, you know, you guys may not know me, but if you're from Atlanta, I'm sure you know me. If you have ever been arrested in Fulton County, I bet you know my name. So I'm going to just say that. Anyway, so the mole situation. On lead attorney, I talked about how initially when we came from the meeting, a lot of people said that, you know, I was the mole. But I'm going to be honest, when we came from the meeting, if you have read or know anything about the transcript, the meeting ended around 11 something and court 11:40ish, and court started immediately. So I immediately went into the courtroom. And I want to say that maybe 30 minutes into being in the courtroom that we went on break. And when we went on break,
I didn't get that.
when we went on break is when we hear about this infamous got you on camera video. So it's true, he does have me on camera, and I was talking to 4 attorneys. And that was just the beginning of them knowing what was really going on. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's talk about another question. But I'm going to answer it. I'm going to tell you guys everything. Yeah. Yeah, and if you watch my meeting on the interview on the lead attorney, I think when he first when he did his judicial notice, he definitely said that we were meeting from 10:17 to 11:28, and I definitely immediately knew that that was incorrect, and I was so scared, like, oh Lord, here we go. But I think once he released the transcript, that he did correct that, and he does say that we only met for about 17 minutes, which is more of the truth. I went to John Marshall Law School for my JD, and I went to Georgia State Law School for my Master's of Law, and I went to Georgia State for undergrad. Now, one question I'm not going to be able to talk to you about is anything that Woody told me, because let's talk about attorney-client privilege. A lot of you guys have heard about attorney-client privilege the past couple of weeks if you've been following the case. And pretty much, we'll start off with immediately when Attorney Steele exposes the meeting into open court into the world, then Judge Glanville, he says, I have a pretty good idea who did it, and I'm sure she did it. When she did it, she violated attorney-client privilege. So we're going to talk about that. I really cannot answer anything that Woody told me that is protected by privilege. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, guys, here we go. We got, it's who everybody wants to know. Where is, look who we got, guys. Everybody put a green heart in the chat for Melnick. Come on, he's not gonna talk until
How you doing, Kayla?
Green hearts. How you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
Doing good. Look at all the green hearts you're getting.
Great. All right. Well, what do you want to know? What does everybody want to know?
What does everybody want to know? Okay. So, Melnick, can you first tell everybody that you do not hate me?
Of course not. Absolutely not. You were doing me a huge favor.
Okay, everybody's been asking about stand-in attorneys, and a lot of people have been giving me pushback and saying that in the transcript that I did not stand up for Woody and I did not say anything and I let the state badger him and I did not protect his rights. And I have been telling them that I didn't have a duty to Simone or Adrian and that I allowed them to do what they wanted to do. And off the record, I talked to our client, which would not be in the transcript.
Right.
But could you explain to them what a stand-in attorney is and what's the role of a stand-in attorney?
Well, essentially, you were filling my role in this case. I had represented Kenneth for a while, and when the state surprisingly was intending to call him as a witness without speaking with me beforehand, I notified them that Kenneth didn't want to testify. We had a hearing in front of Judge Glanville. Glanville said we were going to reconvene the hearing on Monday. Well, that Monday, June the 10th, was not a good day for me because I had plans to go out of town. So I called you and I said, please help me out here. Just come to court. All Kenneth wants to do is take the fifth. And then all this happened.
Okay, and then another thing people have been just bashing me about is if Melnick was there, he would have never let this meeting go on.
Well, I mean, this is a first of its kind type of thing that I've ever seen anywhere. So I don't know that any lawyer has enough experience or knowledge or know-how to deal with these types of issues that you were presented with that day, something that I never would have anticipated. I certainly anticipated that the state was going to try to get Kenneth to testify, but I never would have anticipated that you would have been summoned into a courtroom in front of a judge with a court reporter and several deputies and both prosecuting attorneys or all the prosecuting attorneys, and that this would have happened. I've never heard of it happening before, and neither has anybody else.
Okay, so you don't have to answer this. I think we talked about this. You can say no. Okay, but this is what we're gonna do, Melanie. You got 3 questions I'm gonna ask you, right? So
Okay.
One, you can plead the fifth on one. You can get forced immunity on one. And the third one you gotta answer, okay?
All right, let's go.
Okay. Everybody wants to know, did you file the bar complaint on Adrian?
No, I have not.
Okay, well now you got 3 more. You still gotta go. Okay, so no bar complaint on Adrian. Okay, everybody wants to know, did you really send Adrian an email that says F you?
So it's very misunderstood, okay? I didn't just say F you, all right? Here's the context. I had sent an email, and I'm not looking at the emails right now, so this is not verbatim. I had sent an email saying, Kenneth has always said that he didn't want to testify. You knew this, and you've created this situation. Miss Love sent me a response saying, whose interests are you looking out for? Are you looking out for Kenneth's interests, or are you looking out for the interests of Mr. Steele's client and Mr. Shart's client? Which is an implication that I'm doing anything that I'm trying to help out somebody else's client, that I don't have my own client's best interests at heart, which is essentially the worst thing you could ever accuse an attorney, a criminal defense attorney, of doing. So I wrote her back and I said, if that's what you think that I'm doing, if you think I'm doing anything other than protecting Kenneth Copeland, then you can go F yourself. Those were my exact words. Maybe not the best choice of words I've ever used. So anyway, but I did send the infamous email.
Okay, and so we just thank you so much for coming on here. what do you think is going to happen with this trial being on pause? Do you think that Judge Cross should recuse herself, or how do you feel about what's next?
Well, I think the case should go to somebody outside of Fulton County, somebody who does not have an ongoing professional relationship with Judge Glanville and with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. I think they need to bring a judge in from outside the county to hear the motion to recuse.
Do you think that if this goes to the Fulton, if this trial were to go anywhere other than Fulton County, that these guys would get a fair trial?
Whew, that's a tough one. You mean Jeffrey Williams and everybody else? Would they get a fair trial if it were transferred out of Fulton County?
Yeah.
Whew. I'm trying to think of where cases, if there's ever been a change of venue out of Fulton County and where they've gone to. So if the case were to be transferred out of Fulton County, it would have to go to a county with comparable demographics. And one county that comes to mind that I think would have comparable demographics is Chatham County, which is Savannah. And would they get a fair trial in Savannah? I don't know. It's a really good question. It's really hard to say. I think they get a fair trial. Whether they get the outcome they want is a different story.
All right. Well, we know, everybody, Attorney Melnick is preparing for a murder trial that's going out on Monday, so we can't take too much of his time, but we want to say thank you so much for coming on here. You are the missing piece to the whole story. Everybody's question is Melnick still in Alaska with the non-refundable ticket?
Alaska was beautiful, by the way.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Kayla. Take care.
Okay, good luck. Okay, guys, so we heard from Melnick. I don't want to hear any more Melnick threw Kayla under the bus. You see that he came on here and he showed out. He even answered the question about the email. So we want to just say thank you to Melnick. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys. So next, let's get another good question. A good question, guys. Why do you guys keep asking who snitched? I don't know. I was sitting in the courtroom. I was pulled into this. I left the judge's chambers at about 11:49 and came and sat down in the courtroom. Okay, we'll talk about the transcripts. Let's talk about the transcripts. So, you guys want to review the transcript? We can review the transcript. I'm here to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Like I said, I just wanted to get on here, introduce myself. Oh God, y'all, here we go. Here we go. Look who we got, y'all. It's Mr. Copeland. You just missed Melnick.
I'll watch it.
Oh, okay. Woody, is the transcript complete? You say no?
You know that.
So, guys, I just want to say that even though Woody fired me, as you all know, I still have to protect his interest. And I want to say we will not be talking about the case. He cannot answer anything. As you guys have seen over and over again, the state is watching. I'm sure they're on. Say hi to the state, everybody, because we know they're watching. So we got to protect Woody. We don't want anything to come of this. But what questions do you have for Woody? Did you fire me for real? Have they released you, or do you still have to go back?
They better release me.
Have they released you, or did they say they may call to ask you some more questions? No, no, nothing. Huh? Do you have anything you want to say to everybody? No.
You all right?
I'm okay. All right, everybody say thank you for joining us to Woody.
Yeah, cause I don't know what I'm doing on here, so I
Well, you're doing a good job. Everybody, drop a green heart for Woody. Let's see green hearts. Come on, let me get some green hearts.
not no green heart. You know how these people play. Put a white heart
I
on there.
love green. That's my favorite color. I've been making
Yeah,
these.
I love green too, but
Okay, let's drop pink hearts for Woody.
yeah,
Let's,
pink will do it.
okay, let's do pink hearts. Come on, let's get some pink hearts. Woody, have you,
Everything we do is you know how they do it. You know
you
what's
know,
going on.
look, Woody, so do you think that all these, how you feel about all these memes on the internet? Do you think they're funny?
No, these people see me out in
Uh-oh, we lost them. Let's see if we get them back, guys. Oh, he's gone. Well, we heard a little bit. We'll see if he comes back, but he doesn't think they're funny, guys. This is his life, his livelihood. You know, a lot of people think that he fired me and there was a bad blood, but there wasn't. If you were in the courtroom, a lot of people caught it. Like a lot of my people that are in tune and watching all the time, they caught it. And I mouth to him, I say, thank you. Here, he's back, guys. Here you go. Okay, what'd you say, Woody? Do you think these memes and all these things are funny? No.
no,
Do you like when people like keep trying to record you and walk up on you?
no,
You want them
cause
to stop?
I think they be trying to get my location, and I'm gonna get their ass if they do get my location up.
Well, y'all know he gonna be Woody, gonna be Woody. So you don't think? So you don't ever sit back and look at some of these moments from court and just laugh? You gotta laugh because that's the what. Hey,
I
like
I was I was too drained to look at them, but when I did look at them, I was like, "What the fuck?"
And like I said, sometimes, me and Woody, we have conversations, but I'm going to be transparent. One day I text him, I say, a lot of people are laughing about this and they think it's funny, but this is really draining and this is our real lives. And whew, so I want everybody to just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you see him. Don't walk up on him. Don't record him. He is still a person.
I
And
take a picture, but y'all gotta understand, bro. Every smile ain't no friendly smile.
right.
You feel me? Like, if you want to take a picture, I take a picture, but out there sneaking recording me, man, I'm very paranoid, and I'm
Well,
paranoid for our safety.
that's right. Well, also, let's talk about. Well, we're gonna talk about some things. Do you got time to talk about some things in the transcript, Woody?
You trying to see me back to jail?
No, in the transcript, it's public record. Everybody has seen the transcript.
Yeah, but you know how they playing it.
I just want to talk about one thing. One thing. One thing. It's not about the facts of the case. I just want everybody says that I did not help you in that room and I let them badger you and that I did not protect you. Is that how you felt that day?
You want to proving yourself to people that don't care shit about you.
I'm just asking you, is that how you felt, or do you feel like we were on
You
the same team that day?
you know what's going on, right?
Yes.
You know how it played out, right?
Know how it played out.
So why it matter what the people think?
Just answering the questions for him. But you're right. So that's
Answer,
his
well, you answer the
answer.
question for me. Tell them. You can speak for me on that. Tell them.
Well, the transcript speaks. It says, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. I trust her.
Self-explanatory. You know me, man. They probably come kicking my door in the morning. They try to get me.
Okay, Rudy. Well, we won't take up any more of your time. Thank you for joining us. Everybody say thank you to Mr. Copeland.
All right, you take care. And hey, don't stop. Don't be trying to prove yourself to these people that don't care. You know how good you are. You feel me?
Thank you.
All right, you take care. For sure. How you get out?
You guys know there's never a dull moment with Mr. Copeland. Okay, so now we got two things cleared up. Melnick doesn't hate me and Woody doesn't hate me. So why should you? So everyone should love me now. All right, back to the transcript. What questions do you have about the transcript? Well, we do have some people that hate me, guys, whether you believe it or not. I'm gonna say, okay, we'll talk about what's missing from the transcript. So I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. As far as that goes, I do not honestly think that anything is missing that is pertinent from the transcript. And when I say that, when I don't necessarily think anything is missing. I think that we went off the record at a certain point and that stuff was cut off, but I don't think it was anything that would have changed the outcome of what has happened. The things that were said that were off the transcript, they were very, 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 very minute. There was nothing from the judge that was said off the record. And honestly, there was nothing there were just some like kiki conversations. But for the most part, I believe all of the information contained in the transcript did what it was supposed to do. Up until this date, I believe there have been several. And you say why off the record is because we just went off the record. It's just like, say a hearing was over and the judge says, okay, now we're off the record. And then I say something to someone else in the courtroom. Whatever I say then won't be on the record, but doesn't mean it wasn't said. And it doesn't mean that it wasn't important. But, what is Sadie doing? Sadie, hold on. Let's get him. How I invite him on here? Because he is getting on my. Let me put him in here. Hold on, guys. JT, what you doing? Come on now. Are you not moderating? Hold on. We need to add another moderator. Who else can it be? Where my mama at? Mom, say something so I can add you. Say something. Where's Cat? Cat, say something. There she go. Okay, just added you, Cat. I dropped the string yard for Seti. He needs to come on with it. Always, come on, where you at, boy? He said, I'm calling my mama every time. I sent it. I'm sending it again. I sent it to you. If I just, let's see. Okay, I just dropped it in there again. Hold on, let me slow the stream down for you guys. Okay, let's see where you at.
We got what you
Greg, what's up? Like, why you wanna mess with me?
what you been? You know it's protection at all costs. You know how that go. They mad.
What they mad about? Everybody put a green heart for Steady. Put a green heart from.
Did I do good?
You scroll down. Okay.
Did
Why everybody hates you over here? Why they what they got to say about you? Why they don't like you?
I? Who knows?
Okay, what you think about Melnick?
You know. Can I say more or no?
Go ahead, talk. Let's go.
This shit was all. You know how it's supposed to go. Love is dirty, but she good at what she do. She good at what she do. So when she put it out there, as far as the ex parte meeting goes, it definitely looked bad. That's why her and Simone, when they talked, even the judge had to start correct them in the whole entire thing. Like he didn't actually say this; he actually said that. You get what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
then, as far as how a lot of stuff goes behind the scenes, we know what's going on, but more stuff got to get revealed eventually later. It just is what it is. They play a dirty game, and the fact like my channel for a minute has been exposed, and I have like 15 videos that even the Gaither, she came out and she was like, being in a gang isn't illegal. She said that on the stand.
Well, that's the truth. Being in the gang, and that's what I tell people all as a criminal, not to cut you off, but as a criminal defense attorney, my argument to these gang counts is always being in a gang is not illegal.
Yeah. Well, you done let the damn cat out the bag. I'm trying to protect you as much as I could. I was taking all type of arrows and getting shot at.
I don't have no comment.
You know I love you, so it's all good. I don't trip off what they do. I can take it. That's the thing. They even got mad. The video I dropped today. Even I told them I was gonna drop it 3 days ago.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Were you on? Have you been on here the whole time?
Yeah, I cut up some stuff. I'm trying to run your numbers up real quick. I was actually editing it, but you get.
Okay. So with Melnick, I think we talked about this. So do you think if this case is tried outside of Fulton County that these boys will get a fair trial?
You know what's crazy? I would probably add the cap, but I'm not gonna run with the cap. I'm not because no. But there were people, because a lot of people from Atlanta and the outside, outside counties and stuff like that watch. They was like, well, what about Cobb and what about the cap? And I'm like, they dirty as hell too,
Well, I
especially.
like Cobb. I think Cobb, yes, absolutely. I love Cobb.
But some people swear they gonna this what happens. Some people swear they gonna pledge allegiance. I'm gonna show up for jury duty. I'm gonna act like this. I'm gonna be a fake slime, and I'm gonna go in there. So I'm reading the comments and stuff. I'm like, nah. And basically, how did you come to the theory of if they move it to another county? Because when I said it yesterday, everybody want to kick my ass. I wanted to put the reason out why, but I was like, we're gonna wait on that one.
Okay, so everybody says you're gonna turn on me, you're gonna start lying on me, and that you talk bad about me. But anyway, so I say that because I'm really from Atlanta. I'm from Georgia. I'm from Atlanta. I am a Georgia attorney, not an Atlanta attorney. So I say all that to say that I know what other juries look like. I know what happens in other counties to people who look like me. I tell my clients all the time, my whole thing is as a criminal defense attorney, all of my clients become my family. I can't even hold you on that. I look at them like my brothers, my cousins, because at the end of the day, we are all we have as a community, and that is the truth. And a lot of times, I would prefer someone who looks like me or who looks like my brother or who looks like my father to reach out to me for help because sometimes when you reach out to other people, they will take your money. Let's get that straight. And I'm not saying that in any kind of I don't like certain people way, but at the end of the day, I hear conversations in the jury room. I hear conversations with people who don't look like us. And a lot of times it hurts my heart. And I just say all that to say jurors in other counties don't look like jurors in Fulton County. And also, people that grow up and live in Fulton County are not like people that grow up and live in Newton, Fayette, Coweta, not the same.
I stay in Cobb, so I ain't really tripping. I can say it. Like, it's one little section right over there by where Six Flags is at. That's where all the black is, and then going up towards that Walmart. After that, hey, nah, let me stop. I might be saying too much. But yeah. So let me ask you this. Now that you've had everybody come on here, what's the next step?
What do y'all like? Well, I don't know if you were on here at the beginning, but like I said, I plan on getting on here regularly. And I don't want this to be a boring lawyer channel. I don't only want to talk about legal cases. Now, of course, I want to talk about legal cases. I want to give my expertise, my perspective, my legal perspective, my personal perspective, but I also want to talk about just things in general. There are so many things that we as a community, as people, as young people, black people, educated people, all need to have a place where we can go and we can have these conversations.
Right. So let me
Go ahead.
They said, don't trust me at all. If there ever was a chance and need to not trust me, wouldn't it have been sooner?
I mean, I'm with Woody. Why are you explaining yourself to people?
We got conversation on camera. I'll get down with what he said. But you know.
Don't make me bring him back. He said, hey, we gonna jump you. We from Atlanta.
Huh?
We gonna jump you. We from Atlanta.
Oh snap! I'm crying. Yeah, but nah, if it was ever a need not to trust me, it'd have been a while ago. But either way, go let the people talk. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna do all of that stuff. They're gonna make their clicks and clips and everything. So basically, you know what you're doing. You know how to handle it. When we were on that panel and you put dude in his place real quick, he was like, "Oh," and I blurted out, and he was just like, "Shut up, man! Shut up! You should be talking." So how does it feel having this spotlight now? How does it feel for you right now? Are you getting more clients as far as go ahead.
I mean, like I feel like that, like I said before, I've never had a problem getting clients, whether that be criminal, personal injury. I don't get clients from social media. I don't get clients from ads or whatever. I get clients from being true to who I am and from my reputation. There's always going to be some people who feel the way they feel, but I believe overall people love me and I get a lot of referrals and I do right by people. And I guess this is just an opportunity that I have needed to, show people who I am other than Atlanta and show people that, there are people, because a lot of times when I go places, they can't believe I'm an attorney. They've never seen someone that looks like me, this young, black, that's an attorney. And I think that this situation has shown, and now people can get to know me and see, hey, you can be a young black girl and be professional, but still, let me tell you, I put that stuff on. I can't cuss because my mama on here. I already got in trouble for cursing today. I only got one chance, but that's something I like. I don't do that for people. It's something that I truly like. There's certain things, and it's okay to be who you are. Just because you're an attorney, I'm still a person. I'm an attorney always, and I carry myself that way, but that does not mean I don't have other interests and I'm not lit in real life.
But see, here's the thing, right? You're gonna get certain things. I try to prep you for it the other day, but I didn't get a chance to, because there's gonna come a time where, when do you know not to take money from a client?
I've been knew that about 2-3 years ago. What you mean?
Speak on it. Go in depth.
Well, you know how many people I told no for this case? I like to travel. I have young kids. You know, there's a lot that comes with this. And you know, sometimes all money's not good money. You got people that you cannot please. And a lot of times my friends see me and they see me getting money, they see this, but they don't see the stress and the hard work that I put in because people don't understand. As a criminal defense attorney, I have right now about 85 criminal clients, and their freedom is in my hand. And I have about 70 personal injury clients, and their well-being and their money is in my hand. So, you know, that's a lot of stress on somebody. And it might look, I might make it look easy, but there are some times, and especially when all of this happened, like I tell people, you know, there were times, I have clients who were calling me from jail, and I'm like, I'm trying to stay out of jail. Have you not been like, you know, like, I'm trying to stay out of jail. Please stop calling me 7 times back to back to back to back to back.
Right.
And that's also something that I have to face that a lot of people that don't look like me don't have to face.
So I gave you an alley oop on one of them when I did a live stream on a case that you had did. Now, I'm not telling you to go into depth about it, but this is one you can knock out the park because you it's one that's out with Buddy that was at the mall that shot and hit the little girl on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna wait on that one, or you wanna
Well, like I said, at the end of the day, I only represented him at a bond motion, and then he hired another attorney because we were not on the same page. And like you said, I repeat, all money is not good money, and that was one of those situations where this is what people have to understand. Whether somebody committed a crime or not, they still have rights.
right?
They still have rights. They're still entitled to certain rights by the Constitution. And sometimes it's not about whether they're right or wrong as much as as much as it's about protecting their rights.
So, because one of the things that jumped out because I already knew you did your own thing from jump. You did your little stint with the DA and all them, but you weren't even there to even celebrate a calendar year with them, and then you went and did your own thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
things that people try to say is she couldn't pick her own person. She had a boss on this. I'm like, no.
Okay,
So,
this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this, and then I gotta go. I gotta get you off and go back to what these people are asking me. But I'm gonna say you have more power as a prosecutor than a defense attorney. As a prosecutor, I can count on my hands how many people I sent to jail. I can count on I have the power to dismiss a case. People don't understand the prosecutor has more power than the judge when it comes to what goes to trial, who goes to jail. And you know, the judge is more of a referee. He's there to, you know, supposed to be there to protect everyone. But at the end of the day, as a prosecutor, I was able to look at this and say, wait a minute, let's give him a program. Wait a minute. This is nonsense. Let's let him pay a fee. But as a defense attorney, I tell my clients, all I can do is beg.
right,
You know, pre-trial, all I can do is beg or, you know, strike a jury. But that's 50-50.
right. We'll have a dope ass live stream. I'm gonna cut this up for you. I'm gonna see if I can bring in a good another 1,000 for us. I'm gonna knock this one out for you and everything like that. Blessings, and I'll holler at you later. All right,
Thank you.
kill it, kill it.
Okay, guys. So now let's get back to your question. I don't see is the lead attorney in here? Where is Kat? Kat, get in here. You have the link, Kat? Okay, let me text Kat. I'm texting it to you now. This one I'm gonna text. Okay, so we're about to get Kat on, you know, and I know I see some people saying get focused or this and that, but I have to let you guys get a feel for who I am. I don't want to be branded as just the attorney Woody Fire or, you know, YSL Kayla. I don't mind y'all calling me YSL Kayla, but at the end of the day, it's so much more than that. So I just want you guys to get a feel for me And it's okay if people talk about me. I mean, I was told all publicity is good publicity. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. Y'all might hate me. I'm about to lose a lot. I'm about to lose a lot of people. Y'all gonna hate me for this. Maya, what question am I not answering? Where's Maya at? Okay, and what did I say to those two ladies in court? I'm gonna answer that too. Yes, GSU alumni. Where is Maya? She asked me a question. She said I'm not answering it, but I don't see her question. Okay. But yeah, so anyways. Hey Kat. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I love Kat. Like, when this first started happening, I said, this is the only person with that. Why?
Thank you. I don't like to speculate without qualifying that I'm going to speculate. Like, if I'm going off into, hey, maybe this is what's going on, I'm going to say it's a maybe. It's just a thought. It's not,
Okay, so
hey
Kat,
guys, good to be on this side of the chat.
right. I'm so happy. Like, when all of this started happening, like I told you guys, this is probably my like third or fourth day on YouTube. So I didn't know this was happening. It took for, somebody to sit down with me and show me that the world was talking about me. I honestly didn't know. And Kat had all the vibes.
I put you in a thumbnail. I tried to make you look good.
So what did I say to the two ladies on the court in the courtroom? So I'll talk about this. So pretty much, and I'll talk about the immunity too. I'm writing down everything that you guys want to talk about. So when let's just do a little backtracking. So usually when a client is excused from the courtroom, that means that the attorney is excused as well. So on Monday when I showed up, and I'll be honest with you guys, I was already discharged. I was already fired when we came into that courtroom. But I told everybody, and I told Rudy, I'm going to stay until the end of Monday to make sure that you are released from custody, even though you discharged me. And so you guys saw it way after I had already been fired. And like I said, that was at the direction of Attorney Melnick, who I was there for. If he chose to testify, it was my duty to then be discharged. And so that's what happened. But as an officer of the court and with my prior representation of Mr. Copeland, I wasn't going to just leave him there and throw him to the wolves. So I stayed. He was discharged. I mean, he was excused at around 5:59 or sometime. So that's when I left the court as well. However, we know there was that whole additional part about with Ashley Merchant, who did an amazing job. And after that's over, we hear Glanville say, "Where is Kayla Bumpus?" And I am watching on live like, oh my God, why is he looking for me? What's going on? And so pretty much, I was then told that I needed to come back on Tuesday. When I get back on Tuesday, as you guys know who was in that meeting, and everybody, you read the transcript, and I say, my favorite part is, who, me? Because it was never any indication that I would have to stay past Monday. So, in efforts, because everybody was trying to tell Judge Glanville, you can't keep her, you can't keep her, you can't keep her. And once that didn't work, Woody came to my rescue like, okay, if you not gonna let her go, I'm gonna fire her. You fired, okay? And so that's really how that went. And I say a lot of people who were paying attention and who saw, and I think maybe Miss Sylvia saw, but a lot of people saw when I even say to him, thank you so much. A lot of people I've seen have saw that I said that to him. Because had he not done that, I probably would have had to stay for 10 days.
All for the trial to be paused anyway.
Oh, but to answer the question, I go to Simone and Adrian because they were in the room when he fires me. Also, another thing we talked about is that there are rules of ethics that attorneys have to go by. And one of those rules is that if you know somebody is lying, you cannot assist them in lying on the stand. Everybody read the transcript. There were multiple times when Mr. Copeland insinuates and directly says, I'm going to lie. I am a liar. And in order to protect my bar card, I told him, hey, just fire me so you can testify to however you want to testify. And I can protect myself as well. And that is what I was telling them to say. I told them, you need to say something because they knew that I was not supposed. So I'm back. Oh, I'm over there like, hey, y'all need to say something. And then eventually Simone gets up like, she shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I think they were trying to figure out, and they should have been quicker with it. And I'll comment because I don't want you to talk about your colleagues, but I feel like they didn't want to give a hint in open court that one of the reasons you should be able to go is because you knew that this witness may be lying on the stand. They didn't want to get up and state that reason out loud to the judge, like, yeah, we agree that that's a reason, you know? But at the same time, once it clicked for them that they could say, well, he's purged his contempt and that's all she was representing Copeland for. So, especially if she's fired anyway, she has no reason to be here anymore. So they finally realized they had a reason that they could back you up with wanting to go without coming out and saying she should be able to go because her witness, the client, might actually want to lie on the stand, which would be bad for us. So I think they were just struggling trying to come up with the correct reason to make their argument.
Is Lee in here? I dropped the chat so he can get on. Let's see.
The chat's moving so fast. I'm scrolling up and don't see him. Oh, I see him all the way up.
I dropped it. I dropped the link, Lee. Get on. You need me to drop it again? Okay, so, let's see if he's here. No, I don't see him yet. Is Talk That Law on here?
Glad, like, with this case, Talk That Law is someone that I saw very early on when this all
Yes.
started in contempt, and really great channel, really easy to listen to, and very, very, very fair. So all of you guys that are giving me great compliments in the chat, I think you would like Talk That Law's content as well. Very, very fair.
Yes, Talk That Law. Are you on here? Jump on. I'm gonna put it in the comments again. Okay,
Tell
we're
Booker Daily to get up here.
Yeah. Somebody
you can do the avatar picture, Thugger Daily.
Who, me? You know I don't know how to do nothing.
Oh no, I saw Thugger Daily in the chat.
Oh, Thugger Daily, come on, get on. Okay, so somebody asked me, do I what you guys want to know about Fonnie? People keep saying, oh, somebody asked me a good question too, speaking of Fonnie, is how come this case was not tried during the Paul Howard administration? I don't know, but I'm going to say this. I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but what I can say is when I was a district attorney with Mr. Howard, it was one of the best experiences ever. You know, people have their opinions about Mr. Howard, and, you know, you could feel how you want to feel, but I think he was a great boss. And I think that because of him, I am who I am, because of the experience that the Fulton County District Attorney's Office gave me. But there was a room called the War Room, and there was all kind of information about this case, yet never got tried. And shout out to my attorney, Gabe Banks, because when I was there, he was Adrian Love. But not to talk about Adrian, because I love Adrian, whether you guys like her or not. I love her on a personal level. Do I think what she is doing right now is the best thing? No, I don't. But people really have to remember, we are not our professions. We still are people. I have a lot of people giving me backlash about me getting out of Ferrari. That is wild. You guys are wild for that.
Everybody's here. I see I'm not a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer. Well, when I say I love Adrian as a person, it's not a negative thing. It's what I'm saying is she's not a bad person. Do I talk to her on the phone? No. But when I was in the DA's office, she treated me very nicely, and you can't take away that experience from me. She helped me when others didn't. That does not mean that she is doing what she needs to do right now, and I can't speak to that. I can only speak to my experience, and no one else knows my experience. And yes, I have talked to, I don't talk to Adrian. I don't have her phone number. I don't talk to her per se. But I have talked to Simone, and I honestly feel like, Simone, I think that she is doing the best she can in this situation. I don't talk bad about anyone, so you're not going to see me. I'm not the type of person to throw someone under the bus because it's not fair. You don't know what someone is going through, and I don't think it's fair. But like I said, I worked in the DA's office almost 7 years ago. People change. So I don't know 2024 Adrian. I'm talking about 2017, 2016 Adrian. So I really can't speak to what's happening now.
So my only experience is watching the trial, and in that constraint, I dislike Adrian Love. So
and in that constraint, she's not my favorite person either. But I also can talk from the perspective of people seeing me in the courtroom, and the initial reaction was, she's so nasty. Look at her face. But nobody really knew what I had been going through those past 2 days.
I feel that, and I saw really undue criticism, judgment, but I also saw a ton of love. So I hope you realize that even when it was happening, people were like, yes, go girl in the green shirt. Because we know, they're like, what's her name? But they knew you were the one in the green.
Right. And so I pretty much, even with that outfit, I tell people all the time, that's all I had left. I only came with 2 outfits, my court outfit, and I had such a nice suit on Monday and didn't see a camera. Did not.
Like, why did I go up there on Monday?
Then Tuesday, all I had was my airport outfit and an Amazon shirt that was in my office that was a button up, and I just threw it on with my airport pants. And I was so self-conscious because I normally don't go to court like that. I always go with a jacket and a suit, but I was not supposed to be there. And then everybody ended up loving the outfit, and I was so shocked because I hated it.
We just gotta rock it. But at the same time, was it the same day that Love was wearing green, or was it the next day that there was a lot of color coordination going on? I think it was a different day that Love was wearing green. It was back-to-back days.
I do remember somebody said she got on purple nails, a green out. She just wake up any kind of...
Who noticed the nail color?
But
I don't notice that stuff.
I'm not gonna lie to you. My opinion of her has changed very, very much. Especially after watching that opening statement. It's just terrible. What's going on, man?
Well, that's rough because we didn't. So what Kayla's referring to, we started rewatching the opening statements the other day, and we only got 30 minutes in before Brian Steele calls for a mistrial.
No, 2 minutes in. The first words. Can you play it? Can you put it up?
The jungle? Yeah, let me pull it up.
Okay, guys.
Give me a second to find it because I don't remember.
We are going to watch the opening statement, and like I said, you guys have to bear with me because I did not follow this trial. I did not follow this trial because I'm always in the courtroom. a lot of times I'm in courtroom, I think they're in 1D or 1C, and a lot of times I'm right next door in 1D. So, sometimes I'll drop in and drop out or whatever. But I had not been following this trial, and initially I'm going to tell you guys and be honest, I apologized to so many people because I thought that these guys were getting a fair trial. And like I said, I had these opinions of everybody in the courtroom. I had this opinion of Glanville, I had this opinion of Simone, I had this opinion of Adrian. But after I became involved and I have gone back and I have watched things, I have called people to apologize because the things that have happened in this courtroom are beyond unfair, and rights have beyond been violated, not just myself, but others. And, sometimes you just expect everyone to be fair and you expect things to go the way they normally go. But when cameras are rolling, things are different.
Can you see my screen share?
Not yet. Let me see if there's something I can do. No, we can't see your screen. Wait. Here we go. Yes, we can.
Okay. Alrighty. So this is cutting right. It's going to skip the part where she's like, thanks, jury. You've sat here. You've been so honest. She's done schmoozing the jury in her opening statement, but this is the first thing she says.
Now, this is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. And the wolf that shall keep it may prosper, but the wolf that shall break it must die. As the creeper that girdles the tree trunk, the law running forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being patient.
I want to say,
for being.
I see somebody just said, what the F is she talking about? I want to know too.
So guys, this is from Rudyard Kipling, The Jungle Book.
The jacket is giving
Kipling,
small for sure, whoever said that. That's the first thing I noticed. Like, I'm not trying to talk about anybody, but I'm a clothes girl, and the first thing I said is look at the wrist. Then we get the Jungle Book quote.
Oh yeah. So that was The Jungle Book, and Rudyard Kipling is, racist, jingoist, like there's like 10 different terms that have been tacked to Rudyard Kipling. And this is her opening statement for the YSL trial.
During this very lengthy process that preceded this point here today, during the voir dire process, I appreciate you all being here, exercising your civic duty, and honoring your obligation to pay close attention to what's going on in this courtroom for the next several, however many weeks. Some people like to say that opening statements are a roadmap to what the trial will show. Instead, I'm going to give you an overview, a bird's eye view.
Okay,
because you're going to be sitting here with that.
We're already tired of it. We're already tired of it.
Can you do me a favor? Can you pull the transcript up and let's answer some questions about the transcript? But, my first time seeing this was on Saturday, and it was so shocking to me. Like, wow.
Alrighty, and it's searchable, so if you need me to search a word and go to it, I can. And yeah, let's talk about that roadmap, because one of the things I think is so interesting about this trial is there's barely any coverage of the day-to-day details. Yeah, you can go to Cuff Boys and he sums up the whole day, everything that happens, and he does a great job. If you guys want to catch up from day one of this trial, Cuff Boys is the best channel to go and do that from, because he condenses 8 hours down into 15 to 30 minutes every single day. But the news, the media, there's no mainstream media outlets that are covering the stories that are coming out of this case, because it just goes on and on. There is no roadmap. There is no story. The jury can't know what's going on, even if they're trying to pay attention. Do you guys, like, we know about the tour bus shooting, and we know about Donovan Thomas.
And shout out to my lawyer, Kyle. Okay, you guys, if you look at that tour bus shooting, he is one of the attorneys on there. His name is Matthew, but we call him Kyle, and he is bright. Go ahead. Sorry, Kat.
Well, I was just going to say, we know, like, these top-level things, but unless you're watching this trial every day, there's no news media that can even report and extract what the point of 8 hours of testimony is trying to get at. Some of these witnesses are going on. I didn't realize it until Nick Starro pointed it out, but they had 2 employees from Hertz Rent-A-Car that didn't even work for Hertz anymore to talk about one car rental. Like, that's cumulative. Like, the judge shouldn't have allowed that, and the prosecution should never have wanted to waste the jury's time listening to that, because it's poor strategy to bore the jury to death. But whatever, here we are. So
is Lead on here? Let's get him on, because I promised him I would talk about the transcript with him.
Oh, and Thugger Daily too. Pretrial was a mess too. That was a big mess.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna drop the chat one more time so we can see if Lead can get on here.
He can bring us the soundboard.
Right. Let's drop it one more time. And Thugger Daily, get on. Keep the camera off. Get on. We want to talk. Let's see. Okay, I just dropped the link again. Come on, Thugger Daily. I can't answer that. Y'all keep asking why did Mr. Copeland keep answering the questions as I do not recall. Is that a question?
Well, because I do not recall is, you know, it's kind of a safe answer if you don't know something or you don't want to answer something. Because the state can't really try to pry it out of you. They can try to refresh your memory.
But I mean, he didn't answer that because if not, like he said, you know, well, you know, I don't want him to get mad at me because he said it's not funny. But one of the things he says is Ms. Hilton asked him, "Are you just saying yes to speed up your question?" And he says, "Most definitely." So, I mean, that's just putting him in a position where he'll be on forever. If he just, I do not recall, because then she's just going to continue to try to refresh his memory. And it's never going to end for him.
Oh, that's a good question too. What about that, like, 2-minute security breach? I think, personally, my guess was just something happened. Something had to be notified.
I thought I was going to jail then.
The 2-minute break, the 2-minute security break?
Yeah, I was in there like, are they looking at my phone? What's going on? I'm like, what's gonna happen? Because what? I don't know how to do that. Why you need my phone? Oh, okay, sorry y'all. So the security breach was wild. We were sitting in there and all of a sudden it's like, excuse me, Judge, there's a security breach. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, is everything okay? What's up? Talk that loud.
Oh, hey, hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear
Okay,
you.
hey, I'm just stopping by to say hello. You're doing a great job. Thank you for thank you for inviting me up. I definitely appreciate it. And keep doing what you're doing. I'm not going to be long. They say blessed are the short-winded, but they shall be invited back. And I want to come back. So, but thank you so much for bringing me up. And I'm going to sit back and watch y'all do what y'all do.
Okay, guys.
Like I said, talk that law. Super fair perspective, super fair analysis. So, and really easy. Now when you search your channel, you pop right up for me. The first time I tried to look for you, it wasn't coming up, but now you're real searchable.
See how they did me?
Bro, yeah.
See how they did me? Yeah.
Well, you see, I had to change my name because no one could find Cat. So
we found you now. Hey, but thank you so much. You're always supportive. You always shout me out. So I definitely appreciate that. And I look forward to working with y'all in the future.
Okay, before I talk about the transcript, guys, I want everybody to go and follow me on Instagram. Like, I'm trying to get my Instagram up, and that's a good way for me to stay connected with you guys. I do respond to DMs. My Instagram is Blessquire. I'm putting it in the chat. BLE.
I can ease my way out of here, right? Slowly disappear.
No, come on. We got to talk about this. So what, pretty much, you guys, I want to see y'all follow me on Instagram so that I can connect with you guys. You can ask me questions. I will answer. If you have any legal questions or you're in an accident, definitely give me a call. But let's talk about this transcript. So what questions do you have about the transcript?
I think also, I'm going to check Woody's story because I hear he just posted favorably about you.
Let's see.
Not that surprises me, but I'm just saying for the haters.
Yes, Thugger Daily, come on, get on.
Yeah, come on up and I'll make some room.
Thugger Daily, put your cash app in. We'll get you some cash apps to get you up here. Come on.
Like, yeah, it's Ben Jesus, right? 2 N's. Let me double check his cash app. Or her. I mean, Thugger Daily would technically be
right.
They want to remain anonymous, right?
I'm not even trying to give a 50-50 guess. Let me check.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I think I had it wrong. I don't even know how to use Cash App. Now it just shows me Ben. Let me go to his Twitter or her Twitter.
His or her. And I honestly believe that Thugger Daily has something to do with my alma mater, because Georgia State loves Thugger Daily. So does Kayla. I appreciate all the love and all the accurate information. And it seems like they take so much pride in their work, and that's very important. Did you find it out? Okay. What the security issue? I don't know what the security issue was. Okay, so before we start talking about the transcript, let's talk about this emergency thing that was given in the judicial notice. Everybody who was watching saw that Judge Glanville, after he does the I guess says he's going to release the transcript after this 2-hour break after roll call, then he does this judicial notice, and he says that a part of the reason that this meeting was so important is that can you put stuff in the chat? Okay. That there was some sort of emergency, and that this emergency was based on Mr. Copeland's safety. And if we scroll down, Kat, let's go to where at the beginning, the only mention of anything pertaining to Mr. Copeland's safety is when ADA Love says something about
no one's gonna kill him, right? Hold on, let's go to that. I know where that is. That was wild. That really annoyed me.
And I'm watching this from home, and the first thing I do is I text Woody and I say, "Are you scared?" And he's like, "No, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "Are you watching this? When did anybody say anything about you being scared?" And this is prior to the transcript being released, so I'm on edge now. Like, the whole time I'm wondering what's in this transcript, even though I know, I don't put anything past anybody anymore. So I don't know if there's going to be things missing, added, or what these people are going to do.
Yeah, I agree. I believe the judge was just using that as an excuse to backtrack as to why he had a secret meeting in the first place. But there was no threat. I mean, even DA Love, when she came in the room, she never said that this meeting is about a threat to your client at all.
No, and all day Friday on June 7th, they're like, well, we need to meet, make sure he's going to testify. All right, Monday morning we'll meet, make sure he's going to get back on the stand. Like, the reason was stated over and over.
And I'm going to correct this too. I think I said that initially that there were about 14 people in the room. I do believe there were 12 people, but like I said, everything happened so fast. I did not remember exactly how many deputies were in there. And that's the number that I was probably definitely off by, because it just was a lot. It was a small place. So I do agree that there were 12 and not 14, just to clear that up. And then we can talk about this immunity situation. So, I'm going to also be honest with you guys about this. Even though I have been practicing criminal law for my whole career, I did not understand what was going on. Like Melnick said, it was a situation where I just kind of got in there and it happened. So it wasn't until after asking questions that I actually understood that this was not a deal between Mr. Copeland and the state. This was a forced immunity that was given to him the day he was supposed to testify. And it was also, I did not know that he had not had an opportunity to speak with Attorney Melnick about this, that it just happened so fast for him. Then he was put in jail over the weekend. And it was a situation where I'm like, hey, I even say in here, he don't want that. He doesn't want it. And he also says, right, I don't want it. Once I realized they are giving him this type of immunity, because what you guys have to understand is that once the state, and there's nothing the judge or the defense can do, once they offer you immunity, it's like, hey, here you go. You can't give it back. And then it snatches away your right to plead the fifth. So now you're stuck between, hey, if I plead the fifth, I'm going to jail. But if I take immunity, I have to get up here and go through this intense and rigorous cross-examination and, direct examination. And that's kind of what people don't understand when, they're saying, well, how come Kayla didn't keep it? Well, it was me telling him, hey, look, this is your decision. However you decide, I'm with you. If you decide you want to plead the fifth, and then we work through those issues and see what we can do, then hey, I'm here with you for that. But if you decide you want to testify, there's only so much I can do.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, I thought it was weird that Hilton was presenting this immunity as literally everything but perjury and false statements when it was use immunity. And with immunity, first of all, it depends on how the agreement is written. What exactly was signed off on? Because just because you say someone was given immunity doesn't mean that it's written the same way and it applies the exact same way every time. Did you get a chance to review the document itself?
Yes.
Immunity agreement?
Yes, that was handed to me in that meeting towards the end.
But by the end, so
that's
they
what
were
I'm saying. I did not know what they
catch up in the beginning. Oh my gosh!
So I did not know what was going on. I mean, I think it's in the transcript where it says the court hands Ms. Bumpus a document, and that was my first time being like, well, I mean, like I said, I was there thinking that I was either going to help him if he pled the fifth. We were going to work through those issues at a later date, or he was going to testify and I was going to leave. So I was not at all prepared for this. And I even say that in the transcript. I'm not prepared. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
That annoyed me that I didn't realize. I remember this a little bit, but now that I'm thinking about it, because if we've watched, and I'll let it be my opinion again, because I don't need you to, talk about your colleagues, but I've watched I've watched Judge Glanville get the law wrong and incorrectly argue the law. So the idea that I would be in this meeting if I was in your shoes, representing someone who was given immunity, and they expect me to be able to represent him in this ex parte meeting. I don't even have the document in front of me. My first bet would be, look, I don't have it in front of me. I'm just going to guess it's not a soundproof immunity agreement. Secondly, I don't think you can ordain something that would only like keep him safe from everything. If it's use immunity, that doesn't cover everything. Doesn't cover everything. And then if it only covers things that Fulton County could come after him for, because they wouldn't be able to use his testimony as a lead. Do I trust them not to use his words as a lead and then find something else that they can say was their lead? I don't trust that either, because we've seen this pattern of behavior from Fulton County where they find something, they find the crime, and then try to fit the case around it.
Right.
So I don't trust it at all. I wouldn't, like, that's why I keep saying Woody's smart. He knew.
And then if you type this in and I say that isn't true, or you can type in federal.
I think this is.
It's at the beginning.
Okay, and then the delay, isn't it true or is it not true? He had a lead. Okay, that's Melnick. Okay, because I think is this it where you were cut off?
Yes.
You were about to say it's not true, but she couldn't type both of it.
Yes.
The feds, can you explain this part? Because this is where you guys must have been talking over each other.
That's where we're talking over each other. And I say, well, that's not, and she says, it is true.
Because when I was reading this and we got the feds and it was cut off and I was like, oh, what were they talking about? But it's not protected from federal prosecution.
Mm-mm. And like I see a few people ask, like, did he sign off on this? There is nothing that he signed off on. This was not a gift. It was forced immunity. And go ahead. I want to say that one of the first times I saw this is in a situation with Bill Cosby, but it was a civil case where the state gives him this immunity to protect the victim's right to bring forth a civil case. But I had never seen it be used in a criminal case that it says that, what I guess he does. I just never seen this public interest though. And I had spoke to several attorneys about it once I was presented with it. And these are more seasoned attorneys than me, and they had never seen it be used either. I still don't know what the public interest is of somebody saying that they are going to lie.
Well, and this is where we're getting to, it's signed off at the county level. It's not just Love and Glanville. This is from the district attorney signing off on this. Which is why you saw, if you guys are on X, you saw Ashley Merchant comment on these transcripts. Because Ashley Merchant has a big issue when she saw the transcripts, saw a little bit more about this immunity agreement, and realized that Fani would have had to have signed off on everything that was brought to her. Hey, this is the agreement we're looking for, so we can get this witness to testify. Fani agreed. So Ashley Merchant, she didn't go into too much detail, but she said it's pretty ridiculous.
And even that, like I tell people, like, even when this started to unfold, I was immediately nervous because so much has happened contrary to what I believe to be the law. I speak as to how Ashley Merchant gets up and she says, and she explains the law to Judge Glanville, and he pretty much says, yeah, I hear you, but I'm still going to sentence him to these 20 days unless he tells me who told him. And it's just even more ironic that he never finds out who told him, and he drops the issue and has me in fear for 2 weeks for no reason.
Yeah, and you flew back out, didn't you? I mean, maybe you had other stuff to do anyway.
Yeah, I flew. Yeah, and so I come back, and it's not till the night before the first show cause hearing where I'm blatantly listed that he then says, "Oh, never mind. Let's do this on July 3rd."
Talk that law. What's your
Talk
Twitter?
that loud. Do you have a Twitter?
No, I don't have. Well, I do have one. I just started, so it's nothing going on there. I just created it to save the name so nobody can take it. But I'm gonna start using it. Who trying to look for it?
Thugger Daily.
Oh, shout out to Thugger Daily. Yeah. So Thugger Daily, you're not coming up. You're gonna leave us hanging.
Thugger Daily, give me a good question. I'll answer it. Whatever you ask.
Wait, is this you with one follow? One. I'm gonna be number 2.
Shout out to Cat. No, thank you. I haven't been on that thing. The only way I go there is to get documents from Thugger Daily for this trial, or when people send them to me. So thank you for that. Whoever you are, Thugger Daily, you are appreciated.
You've got no profile pic or anything. It's gonna be like when I wasn't sure if Kayla was really Kayla or a fake account.
That's how we met.
There were so many fake accounts at the beginning. I'm like, oh my God, I say that. And I'm gonna just answer this one more time. I do not know Adrienne Love outside of the courthouse. I've never seen her outside of the courthouse. I've never seen her outside of the courtroom. Simone, yes, I've seen her outside of the courtroom in the courthouse, but only still in professional environments. We are not friends, but I have a lot of, professional respect for Simone.
Well, I kind of felt bad for Simone when I was watching. I was like, this doesn't seem like an easy job to have to on direct examination with Woody. That doesn't seem like an easy job. But then I read the transcript and I was like, oh, she knew all of this was happening and wanted him to be a witness anyway. So she kind of brought this all on herself. So all of that went out the window for me.
And
but at first I was like, why did they stick her to question him?
Well, I was confused about it too, but like I said, people don't understand. Even if I don't agree with someone, I still have clients, and I can't get on here and say Adrienne and Simone are terrible lawyers and terrible prosecutors, and then I get me a serious case, and they're like, oh, and then the offer's 20 years, and I'm not moving, and I'm not negotiating, and I'm not, and that is where, no matter how I feel, whether good or bad, I still have clients to protect. I still have people who need me and need me to have positive relationships, positive professional relationships, so that my clients are not retaliated against, no matter what's going on here today.
Not that, but it just it's still work, right? It still makes work easier when you aren't trying to kill someone every time you walk down the hallway.
But it doesn't mean I agree. I'm going to actually say I don't agree with the way this trial has gone. I don't agree with what has happened. I do not.
And I'm laughing at the chat. They say they're in cahoots, you saving face. No, to say that without thinking that there isn't real world practicality to needing to communicate with people, even if you don't agree with everything that person says, is just not realistic.
And there's nothing, go ahead, Kat.
I would say the concern, so Thugger Daily's making this point, it says a lot, it speaks volumes that you have to be concerned that someone getting the impression that you don't like them could impact a client.
But it is what it is. And, there's nothing for me to, expose. Everything's been exposed. There's nothing more that I know. People like, oh, you're with I've exposed everything that I can expose. And also I want people to understand that even though Judge Glanville says he has no interest in pursuing the matter anymore, my motion to quash is still outstanding. And the new judge, Judge Cross, who has been assigned to hear the motion to recuse, has put out an order that the state has to provide a written response to my motion. So there's still a possibility that, you know, someone could hear or see something that I'm doing and believe that, hey, what really happened? And then I'm back in a precarious situation. I don't think I've done anything. I know I have not done anything wrong, but what you guys have to understand is that when your bar license and your ability to practice and your reputation is at the hand of another person, you have to humble yourself. And if you can't humble yourself, then, you know, anything goes.
And then I've got a question. So Kimberly Brown is asking, was Miss Love in the room the whole time? Because it looks like from the transcript that she swaps out of there when Hilton comes in.
That's what happened.
She swapped out?
Mm-hmm. And, you know, for people saying that, you know, I am with the state, I'm 100%. If I was with the state, why would I sit down with the defense? And, you know, like I say, someone else definitely gave them a nudge about what happened. But there is no part of me that denies that I sat down with them and gave them a legal perspective, a defense attorney perspective as to what happened in that meeting. And I don't think that they would have had the information that they had without me. However, I can't lie and say I was the first person, because I was in the courtroom protecting my halfway in, halfway out client. And, you know, what was also very concerning to me, which I don't think I've told anybody this, is that when I went into the courtroom on Tuesday, when I was summoned back at 9:30, the first thing I said is, you know, I need to talk to Mr. Copeland. And it's so crazy to me. This is something I 100% did not agree with, is the state, and it wasn't Simone and it wasn't Adrian, but the prosecution team tells me, you're not his attorney. You can't talk to him. Just like that. And I say, well, what am I doing here? And they kept me away from Woody the whole morning prior to him coming in the courtroom. As soon as he steps foot in the courtroom, before he gets on the stand, he goes, where's Kayla? And I'm sitting right there because at this point, I refuse to sit where the attorneys sit. I refuse to sit anywhere near the prosecution. And I'm sitting with the family and the regular people because that's the only people I trust in the courtroom at that point.
Yeah, and then people are going to make something out of that too, but...
Yeah, I've never heard that before. That's strange.
Yeah. And,
what?
And so then I'm like, well, why am I here if I can't talk to him? So he comes in the courtroom, he's like, I need to talk to Kayla. Because now everybody is confused.
Yeah, something ain't right about that.
And then
keeping you away from your own client.
You're not released. And I'm like, well, they saying I can't talk to him. He's saying I'm not released. What is going on?
Yeah.
I would say and obviously there are things in the affidavits that are a little bit more specific, but at that point, I would imagine someone who's had a lot of experience in the courtroom could put two and two together that possibly the witness plans to lie on the stand, and that's why the attorney is halfway in, halfway out. That's why Kayla Bumpus is halfway in, halfway out. So every time I hear a little bit more, I'm like, why is Glanville so focused on thinking who told and that the who may have been Kayla, when it could have been apparent on its face to any of the attorneys sitting in the room, just to make an educated guess that this ex parte meeting was about exactly what it was about.
But and you know what's also crazy is that I had not spoken to Rudy over the night. But when he pulls me, he says, I need to talk to Kayla. He knew everything that was going on, and he was not there. Someone had already told him, look, this is what's happening. And yes, if Attorney Steele subpoenas me for anything, I will testify.
And then Trainwreck Entertainment is saying to set up a Cash App, buy a coffee, and a PayPal. Her Cash App is in the little like sign on her name right now. Because she can't monetize yet. I'm sure you'll get the invitation to monetize as soon as the stream is done because you should hit 4,000 hours. You need 4,000 hours of watch time to be able to monetize. But you'll get it as soon as this is done. It's been enough people in here.
Okay, what do you guys want to know about in the transcript specifically?
So I will ask this. So did the state relay to Woody that he had full immunity from state and federal prosecution?
That's definitely in there.
Right.
Put in statute of limitation. Cat.
Oh yeah.
Statute.
It was like two parts he called that out.
Right. And I found that weird because first they were saying, okay, you have immunity, so you're good to go. But I think we passed it.
And also, Woody even calls it out. He says, "It's no immunity for murder. I mean, it's no statute of limitations for murder."
Right. And my thing is, if he
that out.
There we go, right there.
Okay. And also, let me see, like murder. Yeah, don't. Yeah. It was another one where she was explaining like the 4-year statute of limitations for state crimes and 5 years for federal crimes. And, you know, if she gave him immunity and her immunity supposedly covered all of his transactions, whether it's state or federal, why is she then turning around telling him about the statute of limitations being 4 years and 5 years if that immunity supposedly covered all? So I think they really had him confused when they were just throwing all these words around at him at one time. I think it was at the top. Let's see. Was it 2000? I think it said 2015.
That long paragraph where they were, not long paragraphs where they were describing it.
Oh, yeah, right here. Yes. See, she said, you cannot be prosecuted for anything you testify federally or statewide, immune, period. And then she goes on to quote the statute of limitations. The federal statute of limitations is 5 years.
I want to say something about this when you're done, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'll wrap it up. Okay, yeah, 5 years, and then the statute of limitation for anything statewide is 4 years. If he's completely immune, he has immunity, then why are you saying that he cannot be prosecuted because of the statute of limitations? So clearly her immunity doesn't cover as much as she led on to Woody.
Yeah, and like I said, with that, you know, a lot of people are asking, and then I'm gonna get to this question, but a lot of people are asking, how come I didn't say anything? And so my position there was, I'm not going to get into an argument and making a record that's clouded with Simone or Adrian or anyone. But there were several off the record moments where I discussed, hey, this is what they're saying, this is what's true, this is what's not true, what you want to do. And that is my role as a lawyer. My role is not to say, hey, stop giving my client legal advice, because she can do whatever she wants to do. You know, it's just a matter of, okay, once they got the room, now it's me and you. And I can give you the real. But that doesn't need to be on the transcript, because that's between me and my client.
I agree.
And just to this question, you know, but I honestly, this is what's most alarming to me, is that, you know, when I go back and I look at these replays, it just seems like, you know, Love is just like making all these faces and writing all these notes and just doing all this stuff. And it seems like it is off. Something is wrong.
Oh, I didn't realize I was muted. When they were fighting over the microphone, I was laughing so hard. Like, that was just so funny to me. And I didn't realize it until Cuff Boys clipped it. He made a little timestamp in one of his videos just for this microphone fight. It was so funny.
And y'all, somebody said, hold on, how do I go back to this? Let me pin this one. How do I do this? Somebody says, Kayla, your godson and Young Thug being related, true or no? If not, if he not, why just not say no? Well, this is my first time being asked, so when did I get a chance? Yes, that is my godson. Noah is my godson. Next.
Okay. Come on. They said it in my chat last night. I was
He's
like,
my
no.
godson. I posted a picture of him in the I posted a picture of him. But I don't understand how that has anything to do with anything. And people keep asking, somebody just said that's why they thought I'd be the one to tell the truth. But I mean, I don't think that anyone thinks I did not tell the truth. I definitely told the truth. It's just when I had the opportunity to do so. And it's not one of those things where I don't think anybody realizes. Kat, post this to show everybody my godson. I don't think
Wait, did
people
you link it?
realize. I texted to you. I don't think people realize how much stress I was under after that meeting. I don't think people realize we were in there for 2 hours, and I was under just as much stress and pressure as Woody, just as much, just as much.
When he said it too, he was like, "I'm just done with it." Hold on, let me open this picture in a separate window.
What? Who says this? This is my baby, y'all. That's Noah, y'all. Look at him.
Oh yeah, he's handsome.
Hey, yeah, that's why he'll tell you he's handsome too.
I say some of these questions that people do have in the speculation, it's just if some theory, some conspiracy theory is true, does that make this ex parte meeting okay? No.
Right. What does
no
it have
matter
to do
what
with
other
anything?
thing we tack on to anything. Oh, Kayla's sitting somewhere in the courtroom. Should she be sitting over here instead? Well, does that change the ex parte meeting? Having, Brady issues, Giglio issues. No, it doesn't change that at all.
What was the conversation on camera that the judge referred to? That is like I told you guys, I was the very first place I went. I wish you guys could have saw me. I was so stressed out in that meeting. I was stressed out. So I knew he was stressed out too. And I think that's the part that isn't fair to me, is that people don't understand what I went through in that meeting. No, it's not about me, but the pressure wasn't. I felt bad for my client, who wasn't my client. I felt like I didn't know enough about what had happened before this day, and that because I had a previous Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. When Woody walked in that room, he was in chains. And he walked into the judge's chambers, and my heart broke. But I had comfort in knowing I was the only person in that room that he trusted. And that was before he said it. But I saw it in his face. It was almost like, thank you.
Well,
but that's something that you guys can't see.
When we found out from this transcript that Hilton had been trying to have conversations with him all week. So he went through a week of someone trying to prod or nudge at him to give them what they wanted him to deliver on the stand. Because it seems like he wasn't able to get in touch with Melnick maybe that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. And then all weekend, he wasn't able to use a phone while he was locked up. So I'm sure I would be relieved Monday morning. Honestly, not even just you, but anyone that wasn't just on the state side. And I include, when I say that, I mean Judge Glanville included.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think that this, you know, even though there will be an opportunity for Woody and me after all this is over, because yeah, there are some things that, you know, people say that you're not saying that you're not, I have to protect him still. You know, yet he's, even though he's not my client, attorney-client privilege does not end just because he fired me. You know, there are still things I have to protect, whether that's things he told me or things that I know not to say to protect him, you know. And just besides that, like I told you guys previously in a live, I can probably count on my hands of the thousands of clients I've had in the 8 years who can't just call me and say, hey, I had a baby. Hey, it's my daughter's birthday. Hey, it's this. I have real relationships and real friendships with my clients that, you know, my interest is to protect them always.
Yeah, I agree. And in some instances, attorney-client privilege can even extend into death. Just because your client passed away, you just can't start, you know, talking their business. So I definitely agree with what you said.
And I do think that there was an audio recording. I did see like a little tape recorder from the court reporter. But I'm being honest with you guys when I say there is nothing of substance that is missing from this transcript. The only thing that's missing, it would be in the interest of myself, which was when I was fired in chambers. And there was, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When we were about to go downstairs, the last thing I say before we leave off the record is, I wish I had some popcorn for this. Because I knew what was about to happen. The judge did not tell the deputies to turn off their body cams, but that was something that they did, I guess, do amongst themselves. The very first thing they did when they came in was turn off their body cams, but I think that was in the interest of protecting attorney-client privileged information, because what you got to understand is the deputies could not leave, even when it was just me and Woody in the room. But that per se did not destroy attorney-client privilege because he was in custody. So that changes the dynamic a little bit. I don't know what the security interest was. Okay, guys, you got any more questions? Kat, you see anything else worth discussing?
I feel like someone's gonna ask you one more time if those transcripts were altered, redacted, missing things.
No, somebody says. Yeah, I mean, okay, talk about, yeah, Kat, do you have the timeline? Can we talk about the judicial notice that he took? Because I would love to review that.
What documents do I have? What are you looking for? I just pulled up my folder.
The video when Judge Glanville goes through this timeline.
Oh, that was a short day. What was that? Was that the 1st, July 1st?
That was the 1st, yeah.
I did also write down the times, but it is funny to listen to him because he put so many ums.
I meant to ask Ceddy to ask me those 3 questions. But I think he has the answers now. I think he got those answers on Miss Sylvia's chat the other night.
Yeah, because the judge had the timeline all type of backwards.
Yeah, we need to go through that timeline.
Got to. Because I said to myself, there's no way she talked to Woody for over an hour. I mean, that just seems unnatural when you have a whole staff of people waiting outside while y'all, having a proper conversation. Oh, here she go. Yeah, that's it.
For the super quick, he said that it was from 9:10 to 11:31, which, that kind of seems to match up with the numbers. Woody gets there at 10:03, but then they stop at 10:17, so 14 minutes later, and then he's talking to you all the way from 10:17 until 11:28, so for over an hour. So his timestamps made it seem like the active part where Woody was there was like 17 minutes total. That was the whole ex parte meeting.
Yeah, and I was, go ahead.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to take judicial notice of the following timeline. On Friday, June the 7th, 2024, Mr. Kenneth Copeland was granted immunity from prosecution pursuant to 24-5-507A, and that'll be marked as courts 2. So the transfer will be court 1. His immunity agreement, Mr. Copeland's, will be court 2. Mr. Copeland, who was represented by Mr. Jonathan Melnick and advised of his rights and obligations, during the proceedings on Friday, June the 7th, which will be marked as courts 3, the transcript of those proceedings, Mr. Copeland invoked his Fifth Amendment privilege and was held in contempt, and that will be courts 4, Mr. Copeland's order of contempt. Mr. Melnick informed the court that he was not going to be in attendance of any further proceedings as he would be on leave effective 10 June of 2024. The court informed Mr. Melnick that his leave, or had discussions with him that his leave was not proper and that he needed to be in attendance on Monday, June the 10th of 2024 with Mr. Copeland. Mr. Melnick relayed that attorney Kayla Bumpus would be representing Mr. Copeland. On Monday, June the 10th, before court, Mr. Edward Chamberlain, the court's litigation manager, informed the court that the state wished to have an ex parte meeting with the court. No subject matter of the ex parte meeting was told. The entirety of the ex parte hearing held on the 10th of June of 2024 was taken down by Ms. Christina Weaver, the court's official court reporter. This ex parte hearing was held in chambers starting at 9:10 a.m. Present along with the court were Ms. Kayla Bumpus, attorney or ADA Ms. Adrian Love. Also present were the DA's investigators, Mr. Long and Mr. Hamilton. The ex parte hearing stood in recess from 9:34 to 10:03 a.m. to await Mr. Copeland's arrival. The ex parte hearing resumed with Mr. Copeland present at 10:03 a.m. Also present were attorney Bumpus, Ms. Hilton, the DA's investigators Long and Hamilton, the court and security personnel, deputies Houston, McPherson, Brown, Sergeant Brown, and Sergeant Hall. The ex parte hearing stood in recess to allow Mr. Copeland to have a private conversation with attorney Bumpus from 10:17 a.m. to 11:28 a.m. The ex parte hearing resumed at 11:28 a.m. The ex parte hearing concluded at 11:31 a.m. The court arrived in courtroom 1C at 11:49. The transcript of those proceedings, starting as of 11:49, or when the court presumed that held the proceedings on 10 June in courtroom 1C 2024, that will be marked as courts 5. The proceeding in 1C commenced on the record at 11:52 a.m. A lunch recess was had at 12:51 p.m. The parties returned from lunch, and Mr. Steele informed the court that he had a motion, and that was at 1:46 p.m.
Oh, there's the Glanville timeline.
What happens after 1:46 p.m.?
That's when Steele makes his inquiry.
Because is it? That's when.
You want to keep going?
No, does he already? So is this? Does he say when he makes the inquiry? That's the last thing.
I think he's gonna start going. This is where he's also gonna go into the recusal motions that he's sending it over to another judge.
Okay. So who has questions about this judicial notice? I mean, my biggest thing is that, you know, and once again, I just really have to be careful with what I say, but my biggest thing is, why did he feel that it was so important to say that someone gave him meat on camera talking to these attorneys when then he links it to absolutely nothing and then goes in to dismiss? You know, and then I don't know, because I'm sitting at home and I'm like, oh shit, he got me on camera. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. But pretty much when I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. So, you know, I hope Brian doesn't kill me, but you know, when I told him, Brian told me, you know, when we talked, Brian says like, oh God, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but he says, Kayla, I'm about to go to jail. You know, that's what he says when we were talking. I'm like, okay. He's like, don't worry. I'm like, okay. Then Judge Glanville, he's like, you got 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, I'm leaving. 5 minutes? I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm out. Bye. So I never come back in the courtroom. But before Brian gets up there, there is I have Miss Tasha, who is Yak's mom, and you know, there is no conflict. The whole time that I represented Woody, I did not speak to anybody in the family. I did not speak to anybody I know that's related to this case. That's why I try to stay away from this case. But I don't know if you guys know, but Miss Tasha was arrested in the courtroom, which is Yak's mom, for allegedly smuggling tobacco in his clothes to him. She stayed in the courtroom. They arrest her. So she hired me to handle the case, which we got dismissed because we pulled the cameras and it's clear as day that Miss Tasha knew nothing about what was in the clothes. She literally takes the clothes from someone, a third party, hands them to the lawyer, and goes and sit in the courtroom. You know, so anyway, before Brian gets up and does this thing, it kind of hits me because now I've been sitting there all day, and I go outside. I say, Miss Tasha, please come talk to me. Please come talk to me. And so she's like, what? And so you guys have to know Miss Tasha. Like, I wish I could get her on the line. See if we could get her on. So you guys got to see Miss Tasha. She's something different. But I go, they gonna think it's me. This before Brian say anything. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm the only one that was in there. I done told these people all this stuff. They gonna think it's me. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm not going back in that courtroom. She's like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, she has no idea what I'm talking about. 2 seconds later, and he even admits to killing Donovan Thomas. That was it. I said, oh, heck, I ain't sitting here no more. I'm going to jail. But I didn't even know when I just was kind of sitting in there reading the dynamic of the courtroom, but I never thought it was going to go like that. But I could just feel the tension building. I didn't think I had done anything wrong, but like I tell people, like when I hired my attorneys, judges can be elected or appointed. It depends on what's going on, just so you know. But most of them are elected, but sometimes there are situations where they have to be appointed. But, you know, I didn't think I had done anything wrong. I knew I wasn't the initial person to give the information, but I could feel the tension in the courtroom to the point it made me have to go talk to somebody. And this was before he even gets up and does his little whole spiel. But I'm freaking out because I can just feel the tension between the defense, the state, the judge. I'm just like, wait a minute, something's not right. You know, this is my first day in the courtroom. And so So pretty much, I'm like, after that, I'm going in the jury room and I am going to watch this from live because he not gonna arrest me today. He gonna have to find me. So then I decide from Monday to Tuesday, I'm like, you know what? That's okay. I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna just do my 20 days straight. I kept telling everybody, look, I'm gonna do my 20 days straight. It is what it is, whatever. Because I just knew how upset I didn't understand why he was so upset with me and how he had just come to these conclusions that it was just me. But my whole thing was the same way the state and you were able to corner me, I had the same obligation and duty to the defense. There was no reason, and it's not fair that you expect me to talk to these people and then say I can't talk to these people when these are my colleagues. And so at no point did I think I had actually done anything wrong as much as anything goes in this courtroom.
Right, but you never know. Someone raised an issue with it, and then now you're the one. Luckily, I think I've told you, but I was so happy to see the 5 squad up for you. Like they just were all sitting in the courtroom, ready to make sure that your motion to quash was heard or addressed. And I know it was addressed in a very Glanville way, but whatever.
She shouldn't. What? When you guys keep saying I shouldn't have trusted Seti, trusted him for what? What are you guys talking about? But trusted him to do what? I don't know what you guys are talking about. And yes, like I said, Jarvis, I do believe that the full transcript was released. And I'll just say this: initially, when I came to the courthouse, I don't know if this is on the judicial notice. I didn't hear this part, but I arrived. I just want to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I hope you guys still hire me, but it's a 100% chance I'm gonna be late for court. Always late. So I call and I say, "Hey, look, I'm late." And they tell me it's fine. I'm only maybe like 10 minutes late. I'm late, and they say that's fine. When you get here, just let us know. So I let them know, and they take me upstairs as soon as I get there. So when I get there, I do have conversations with Adrian and Simone before it's on the record. But those conversations had nothing to do with Woody. They're just catch-ups, like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? What's going on? Things of that nature. Because people keep asking, was Adrian in there when I came? Yes, she was there. But as you guys see, and also I want to say that people say, how did I did not know we were about to have a meeting. It was presented to me as if this is the only place you can talk to Mr. Copeland. So I thought I was just sitting in there. I thought it was weird that there was a court reporter. I didn't understand that. But I've seen weird things. But I thought I was just sitting in there until Mr. Copeland got up there, and that was going to be our opportunity to talk. I didn't know it was going to go straight into a meeting. So when people are like, how come you didn't stop how come you didn't? That's how I was. That's exactly how I was. Like, what's happening? And I both feel like we were both like
ambushed.
Ambushed. But I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily know if anybody, and I say this with all good intentions, but it was nobody's responsibility but the judge, but the court to stop it. It wasn't my responsibility. The state gonna do their job. And they just did their job, but it wasn't my responsibility to stop it. It was the judges.
Hey, Kayla, I've got to jump off, but you're going to have to change this. I think if I stop sharing, it's going to
oh no, we're good. We're done.
Okay. All right. So thank you for having me on. And you did a great job on your first stream. You did really, really good. No struggle.
Well, I hope you'll come back.
Anytime. We got to talk about another case, though, something different.
I'm done with this. That's why I say I hope everybody comes back. I have great things to talk about. I think this will be a safe space for everyone, and we can talk about all kind of things. I hope Talk That Law comes back all the time.
I'm gonna come back.
Good.
Hey, thank you so much. I'll get up.
Congratulations on your first stream, Kayla, and good to see you
Thank
talk that law
you.
and chat.
Oh yeah, same to you,
Bye.
same to you. Thank you so much. And I'll get off too and let you have your stream by yourself. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm gonna watch from the sideline like everybody else.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thank y'all so much. Well, guys, I am definitely going to wrap it up here. And I thank everybody for supporting me and joining today. I hope you guys will come back. I have more things to talk about. Definitely, let's come back after we see what happens with this recusal motion. And let's talk about things other than YSL. If you have anything you want to talk about, once again, I want everybody to go and follow me on Instagram, send me DMs. I want to hear what you guys want to talk about. Put my can you put my Instagram in the chat? Yeah, this right here. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that. This right here. Let's see. Don't agree with. If you look in the transcript, I say, I knew. I'm completely not involved in this case, and I knew Attorney Melnick represented Woody. Don't agree with this at all. All right, everybody, let me see those green hearts before we get off. Green hearts, let's remember, it's not about, free anybody, but everybody has rights. Everybody has rights. So let's make sure everybody's rights are protected. Let's make sure everybody comes back. Let's come back. I'll have some more guests for you guys. Let me tell you, I know some good people, so we'll have some great conversations. I want everybody to come back. I appreciate everybody. I love everybody. Follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you guys back and send me DMs. Thank you so much.